So today we got a question from a young bro who wants to know, Elliott, why is it that I'm busting my ass in the gym, but I'm not getting any gains? Great question, Jake. Jake goes on to say that, I'm 26 and I've been lifting for a few years. He says, but I feel like I'm not making the gains that I should be. I train hard, I eat a lot, I get my protein in, but my muscle growth is slow and I don't look as strong as I feel. I see guys my age making way faster progress. Am I doing something wrong, or is it just genetics? How can I maximize my muscle growth? So great question, Jake. Thank you for sending it in. And there's something that you said here that stuck out to me. It was, I don't look as strong as I feel. That means you feel strong, which is a great thing. Congratulations. You are building the foundation upon which you will build your most aesthetic body ever. And you're doing it the right way, so it might last longer than your boys who are growing those muscles on top of a weak body really fast. So what am I talking about here, man? The type of program that you're probably following that's allowing you to feel stronger yet not see bulk, not see aesthetic gains, not, building round, shapely muscles with striations, is typically going to be foundational. You're sticking with a foundational program. So you're probably lifting like a 5x5 or a 531. You're lifting heavy. You probably have longer rest intervals between your lifts. Your frequency's probably not that high. You're probably at least taking a day off in between each workout. But you're lifting heavy, right? And so these are some of the parameters that are associated with a good foundational strength program, right? You're building strength. You're building functional capacity. You're building a foundation in your bones and your tendons and your tissue that is stable and able to do whatever you want with it. It's like the uncarved block. Like you're preparing the uncarved block for what you want to carve into it. Right? Rather than starting off with a soft and not very malleable, or just a different kind of block, right? But you got your block and you're building a really fucking awesome block. Now you get to decide what you want to put on top of that. And there are a few different routes that you can go, right? You got this new beautiful uncarved block that you're building with foundational strength, and you can decide to become a bodybuilder. There are generally going to be two routes. You could become a bodybuilder, meaning not competitive, but you start bodybuilding, or you can powerlift, right? It's generally going to be one of those two roads. There's a funny meme that comes on Instagram every once in a while, I'll see, and there's a guy, and he's like a cartoon, and he's walking down, and there are two roads, and the road says, after reaching 315 on your bench press, do you go for 405, meaning like, I'm just going to keep getting stronger, and it's... And sometimes it's like a dark, shadowy, like with lightning strikes road. It's like, ooh, that's the dark one. You're going the dark path, which is strength, right? Dark, even in terms of like not shining like a bodybuilder, right? To get out there and shine. And the other one is get shredded and look great for the summer. And it's like, it's a dilemma. Which one? Do I go the dark path, the dark road, and just focus, hunker down, put on my hoodie, and work on my strength, just keep grinding? Or do I look great for the summer, and so I'm not going to reach the 405 bench press, but I'm going to continue to maintain what I have, and I'm going to work on shredding? Which one do you go? It's a perennial dilemma. And some of us, the decision's already made for us because we tend towards one or the other, but we all want one or the other. And now here you are standing at the crossroads with a solid foundation, uncarved block, and you want to know, why is it that I don't have the looks, bro? Why don't I look like some of my friends, although I'm feeling stronger? So you got to ask yourself, well, what's more important to you? And that's not for me to judge. I have two kids, and I have a daughter, and she's interested in aesthetics. Benjamin, he just lifts because I make him. He wants to. He likes it. It builds him up in different ways. But with my daughter, I give her the advice. She's built just like me. She's got my genetics. She's blessed. You can try to get shredded and look aesthetic, or you can continue to build this foundation that you can do anything you want with once it's really solid. And she knows my opinion for her is keep building that foundation. So that means, maintenance calories or slightly above, right? She doesn't want to get overweight, but getting stronger, building her lifts and building the weak points in her lifts. Weak muscles, but not weak muscles in the bodybuilding way, like, I need to bring this muscle up because it doesn't look as symmetrical, balanced in my body. No, you work on the muscles that add to your lifts, right? Where like a bodybuilder might see his triceps as a limitation, so he works more on triceps. A power lifter or somebody who's going for strength, even overhead pressing, he's gonna pay much more attention to his triceps. Right? One, because the biceps are in front for the bodybuilder, but two, the triceps are involved in all kinds of pressing. Great pressing. So spend more time on building your tricep strength than trying to get an extra bump on your bicep, right? That's my opinion for her. She's only 16. Of course, with my son, I say, through being a teenager, even into your early 20s, keep getting stronger, keep building strength. Because from that, then you can do whatever you want. A lot of the best bodybuilders come from a foundation of powerlifting. Look at guys like, Ronnie Coleman, right? Like, he was a really strong guy. Stan Efferding, right? These are really strong guys. Johnny Jackson, I think, who was one of the older bodybuilders, was really strong. There are a couple of them. That have really solid powerlifting foundations that then they just shredded up. Those guys focused on strength and then shredded it up, right? So my advice to you is, number one, you're doing great. You're on the right path. You're feeling really strong. Decide what your timeline is in terms of when I'd like to transition either to pushing my strength further down that road or an aesthetic road, right? Once you decide on a timeline, right? A lot of times it's like you have a powerlifting show, like that would be good for you to have a goal, powerlifting show, or I'm gonna, do something aesthetic. You could decide to do a bodybuilding competition, or it could just be for yourself. Like, I wanna look a certain way when I'm looking in the mirror. And then you just swap programs. Simple as that. There are parameters that are associated with strength and there are parameters that are associated with muscle. One's not better than the other. They're both important. You just decide which one you want to do. And if it's, I want to look more strong now, right? I'm already feeling strong. I'm cool with that. I want to look more strong. Well, then you do what the guys that look like bodybuilders do. That means higher volume, higher frequency, shorter rest periods, rest intervals, right? Pyramids, things like that. Pyramid sets, and doing, where you're lifting for strength, it might be like, bench press, squat, deadlift, like 5-3-1. For a bodybuilder, they'll do like, chest and arms, back and shoulders, legs, take a day off, and then do like push-pull, right? So it's like you're hitting the muscle very frequently. Like, you should hit every muscle at least twice a week if you want the aesthetic look. You don't need that if you're just trying to get stronger. You're thinking more in terms of the movements. How many times am I gonna hit this movement, and within what ranges and intensities? Bodybuilding, the intensity doesn't matter nearly as much as, well, how can I put this? It doesn't matter how much weight you lift, but it's the amount of work you're doing. And sometimes you can get a lot of work done in a short period of time, like with a HIIT style Mike Mentzer program, or you can do so I was reviewing Jim Wendler's 5-3-1s, and he throws bodybuilding in after the powerlifting segment, and it's like 5 sets of 10. It's a shit ton of volume. Volume, frequency, rest intervals, these things, they all matter when you're working towards building that muscle, dude. So you're in a great place. You got options. You decide what you want to do, dude, and you go and you attack it like a beast. Done.